Okay, I just got the boys, well, Isaiah off to school. Silas got on the bus a little bit ago, and we are off. We have some errands to run. I have to go visit my aunt, who is still recovering from her traumatic brain injury. So we are gonna go do some flashcards with her, see if we can get her talking today. I have to run to Costco, and I have to make 2 Valentine's Day boxes. Fun stuff. I am excited to see my aunt though. But there's been a lot of misconceptions that I wanted to talk about what kind of schools my boys go to. They are both deaf with bilateral cochlear implants, and there are a lot of options for what type of school they can go to. And my oldest son is 7. He is in a mainstream first grade classroom with hearing peers. He's the only kid in his class with cochlear implants. I think he's the only kid in his school with cochlear implants, and he does not have an interpreter at this time because he does not want one. He is learning how to read, write, do math, science, all at the same level as his hearing peers, and he's actually doing really, really well. We just had a conference not too long ago, and she said that there is absolutely no concerns. He is doing well socially, he's doing well academically, he's right on track for where he needs to be. Every kid has their own learning curve. My son's maybe a little bit behind, but he's still on his own learning curve and it's still inclining. It's still going up, and he's on his own at his own pace. And it's not dramatically different or drastically different than his hearing peers. He's just setting his own pace, and as long as we're seeing upward trends, and as long as we're seeing, that he is progressing, there is no concern. He missed out on 18 months of sound. He didn't get his cochlear implants until he was 18 months old. So he technically lost out on those 18 months of listening that his hearing peers had, and he's keeping up and doing everything that his hearing peers are. He also plays sports. He plays football, he plays baseball, which he loves. He tried wrestling, it wasn't his favorite. We've tried some martial arts. He does want to try that again. He just had some issues with his processors in the echoey room. But there really is no limitations on what my boys are able to do with their cochlear implants and being deaf. My 3-year-old is in a preschool program for deaf kids. There's a teacher of the deaf. It's spoken language focus, it's oral focus, so he goes from 9:15 to 2:45 Monday through Thursday, and they focus on speech the whole time. So it's very revolved around learning to listen, spoken language, and then we do all of our sign at home. He's doing fantastic. Silas, my 7-year-old, also was in that program and benefited from it immensely. So and Isaiah really likes it. Most days he wants to go to school. They love it. They do so good. He's got a speech therapist, audiologist. They're both on an IEP. As far as their language development, they're doing fantastic. We sign at home still. I sign to them more than they sign to me. Even when I sign, when they're not wearing their cochlear implant processors, they still speak back to me. And my oldest at this point, he's like, "Mom, can you just stop signing? I can read your lips." And I'm like, "Buddy, it is not a great way to make sure you're understanding all of the conversation, so we have to have those reminders." But they both choose. Silas more than Isaiah. Silas is about 95% spoken language, and I would say that Isaiah is about 75% spoken language. And I know that's going to ebb and flow as we continue. Eden, what's wrong, baby girl? I know that's going to ebb and flow as we continue on this journey, but I know that sticking with sign language, even if they don't want it right now, eventually they will appreciate it and they will know why I continued, and maybe down the road they'll want to use it, so we'll have it then. But yeah, they are both doing fantastic in mainstream schools, going to mainstream school. It's funny because I at one point thought that I was going to homeschool, and it has nothing really even to do with their deafness, aside from the fact that Silas absolutely loves friends, loves, just the whole atmosphere. And I knew after putting him in that preschool program for deaf kids that was the type of environment that he needed to thrive. So we kind of backtracked a little bit, and I knew that homeschooling wasn't going to be for him, and probably the same for Isaiah. They're very happy right now. And then one quick look at Silas's first grade homework. I'm like, tell him how to do math And I'm like, no, you carry the one. He's like, that's not how you do it. You do it this way. I'm like, okay, buddy, you look like you have it under control. I'm just gonna go do the dishes quick. It's just, you let me know when you're done and I can check your work. But I don't even know what I'm checking because they do it ass backwards. Anyway, they are thriving. They are happy. We are doing what works for us. There's no one way to be deaf. We get asked all the time, why are they not in deaf schools and using ASL more? And if the time comes, we would have to move. We would have to pick up our home. We would have to move. My husband had to transfer jobs. We have to find a house 2.5 hours away, which if they decide that they want to go to a deaf school, we will cross that bridge when we get there. If they say, Mom, Dad, we don't want to be in a mainstream school, we will cross that bridge, and it's not out of the question for them. But right now, it's just not something that they want. I have continuously asked Silas, like, do you want an interpreter? Do you want to be in a school that uses ASL? Do you want to use ASL? It's just not in his interest right now. Kids in his class, they all recognize that he has cochlear implants now, and his teacher wears a microphone that's Bluetooth directly to his processors. And the kids will go, and first grade kids will run up to the teacher when they notice it's not blinking the right color and tell him, like, it's not on right now, Silas can't hear you. And I just think that's super cute, because even if they don't know they're doing it, they're advocating for him because they want him to be able to access that sound, and it's adorable and I love it. He's just doing fantastic. And honestly, I'm not going to say our district where we're at, but they're doing fantastic. I know it's not always like that, and I know that some people have to really push things with their IEPs and force things with their IEPs and really have to be, on top of things. And honestly, I haven't had that issue. I haven't had to fight for anything that we've needed. I haven't had to do anything extra. They've been amazing for my boys, who are both bilaterally implanted and profoundly deaf, and I could not be happier where we're at, which is why we are staying in the school district. I'm not pulling them out. They have friends. They play sports. They're chilling. We're chilling. I just need to get better at making friends with people, because it's really hard to make friends as an adult with your kids' friends, moms and dads and parents and people. Nobody told me this part of parenthood would be so hard, right? Anyway, that's my little spiel about schools with my deaf children. They are thriving.